And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report. Second King reporting live from the Chunigung Palace this morning, Tuesday, September 19th, 2017. And we are joined with Mr. Che Huno from Car Arms, young man who we've known many years from Korea. He was out there in Seoul helping us with ministry and, of course, working in the Korean Foundation and was, of course, one of the faithful young people who stood for True Father and his representative body, the second king and Cain and Abel, and of course is now here in America working at Car Arms. And Huno, what do you have here before you today? Why don't you explain a little about what you have?
Okay, today I prepared the 3 different plans for the emergency gears. We call it King's Kit. As you see here, we have King's Kit Plan 1 and 2 and 3. Basically, this is the logic behind. We have to prepare before something happens. It's same as health. We should take care of our health before something happens. So
yes,
emergency stuff, emergency plan. Of course, it's too late. We prepare when something happens. So we always better to be prepared before something happens. So there's a King's Kit Plan 1, which includes this is molly shoulder bag.
Okay,
to contain all those the gears.
That's a high quality molly.
Oh, this is a Pathfinder.
That's Pathfinder.
Yeah.
That's embroidered and everything.
Yes, and this is heavy duty the emergency blanket.
Wait, hold on. Go back to that bag. See that molly strapping? That molly strapping allows you, it's the versatility because you can start putting on other pouches onto that pack to add more stuff. You want to put a water bottle pack, you got a strap. You can also put stuff in the back. You can also attach this to other tactical gear. If you got a backpack with molly strapping, you can attach that to your backpack. You can even attach it to your belt. You see what I'm saying? So what molly does, it's a type of military webbing, okay, which allows you to clip things on, clip first aid kits, clip knife kits, clip gun kits. You can even put your pistol on there if you want.
Yep.
Clip different things with molly attachment pieces, and so it becomes a versatile piece of kit with that ability to merge with other kits to make a more powerful kit. Okay. That's of course high. Look at that. Hold on. Look at that. High quality buckles on that. That ain't no. That is not a cheap Chinese bag. Okay. That is super durable. That's all mil spec, which is military specifications. Huge grab handle on top. That's Cordura. So that's also water resistant and fire resistant as well. And it has the embroidered Pathfinder logo. And it's also got a utility pouch in the front, which I recommend put your fire gear in. Throw in a Bic lighter. It comes, that whole kit right there is based on the 5 C's of Pathfinder School, which I train at via internet. But that whole front pouch kit is what you can put your fire kit in and things like that. So that pouch is really good. It's got a drawstring at the top to hold in that water bottle. It can hold either the canteen or the water bottle. This is the water bottle that I recommend because it's the base model. This is a 1 liter exactly. Show them the water bottle there. The water bottle here, this is the container. This is one of the 5 C's. There's a container. That's a 32 ounce water bottle. And the reason why Dave Canterbury made it at 32 ounces, or exactly 1 liter, is because most of the water purification tablets are labeled for specification at 1 liter. So you're supposed to use 1 liter water per little tablet, okay? So that's why that's designed in standard 32 ounce. Whereas before, on the market, you could never get standard, you always had 34 ounce or 36 ounce, so you had 40 ounce. But this is designed at 1 liter. So number one, you know how much water you're using. The cup also is a 27 ounce cup with gradations. Look inside. It's got gradations inside, measuring markers inside, which is again another innovation of Pathfinder School. And you won't find these in other things. Of course, now people are starting to copy that stuff, but Dave was the one who was pioneering this. That is the lid as well with strainer, soup strainer, etc. And it's got those, see those weird little marks on the side, the big little cut holes in the side, right there of the lid. That is to put wiring or fish mouth spreaders through to make your cup into a bale or into a bucket, so that your cup becomes then a mini bush pot, and you can put a little wire through there. I use just a little wire hanger that I bend, and I can put it through those loops. But that container is a container I carry on a day-to-day basis every single day. That's a stainless steel. I've stepped on it, I've dropped it, I've in the night while I was, I've boiled water and I've knocked it over and then stepped on it again by mistake. Full weight, I'm over 200 pounds, you know what I'm saying? And that thing has not bent and disconfigured. So it is a tremendously strong piece of kit. Okay, so there's the Cordura bag with all the attachments, the MOLLE, the front pouch, the haversack strap, etc. All that versatility. Heavy duty Cordura, fire resistant, water resistant, as well as heavy duty buckling. Okay, now continue. Go ahead. Then you have, what do you have? You have your
And I have a
combustion
little
device. There you go.
small mini Inferno.
Okay, that's also another Pathfinder exclusive. Okay, that is another Pathfinder school, and that is known as mini tinders. So those are what we call surefire technology. Okay, now you should be able to harvest natural tinders if you know anything about bushcraft. In the wild, you can get natural accelerants like pine pitch and some of that. You can get birch bark. You can get, in this region, we have a lot of silver birch or yellow birch. You can easily harvest flammable materials from there. Okay, there are different ways to harvest flammable materials in the wild, but it's not always for sure, because, for example, an area in the wild may not have a particular tinder. Okay, that's where you always need to have a backup tinder, which is, for example, what we have here. And I'm very proud, Car's retail shop at Tommy Gun Warehouse is an official distributor, right, for the Pathfinder School. So we're able to hook up with Dave out there and the Pathfinder School, which is, of course, the biggest survivor school in the world, and we are able to have the direct distribution. So again, we have the mini Inferno there. Can we open that? Open that package up. The mini Inferno, the small Inferno. And we'll show you what's inside these tinders and how you use it. This is surefire tinder. These are tinders which you carry, which are completely waterproof. Okay, they don't get soiled. Here, can I get one of those? They don't get soiled and destroyed and compromised. Tim, can you hand me one of those? With water. So even if you're in your canoe or you're trudging through a swamp and your whole pack gets wet, you still have a mini Inferno. And one thing nice, what we do, of course, with these mini Infernos for surefire, and when you start, it's good to practice with these, you cut them into fours. So cut them into quarters, so that you have more of them, and you just cut them like a cross, just cut them into different pieces. And then what you have is you have a huge tinder cake. This is a huge tinder cake. And this is a cotton material. So all you do is just pick up the cotton right on the edges right here. You can see how that cotton gets picked up and how it gets very fluffy. Okay? And that fluff is what you want to hit with your ferrocerium rod, which also is included in this kit. So this is your tinder, your surefire tinder, and this will burn for about 5 minutes to 6 minutes, I believe. This one cake will burn. Now, if you cut into four, it's obviously going to burn for about a minute. But if you're skilled and you understand how to make fires in the wild, you should be able to make a fire with even a quarter. Now, in the rain, I would use the whole thing. If it's raining or the weather's compromised, just use the whole thing. Don't fail on your fire attempt, because then you're going to have to regather all your kindling, etc. If it's a nice day, just use one of the quarters. If it's raining and the weather's compromised and it's snowy or raining, you need to get fired now, just use the whole damn cake. Just use the whole thing. And you just pick up a little right here, as you can see. You just pick up and you hit those little fine fibers that have been created. Hit it with your spark, whoosh, with your ferro rod, and this will start lighting and start burning. And then you will be able to add your kindling on top of this to get that fire going. Okay? So that is your surefire. And you have that within a tin. Now there's a reason why Dave and the Pathfinder School made it in that tin. Give me that tin. Because this tin is also another item. This tin is a metal tin, okay? So once you're done with using your Surefire technology, let's say you use all your Surefire technology, now you're out. With your last Surefire, okay, what you should be doing, last Surefire that you use for your fire, you make your fire here. You got your fire going, so your fire is going. All right? Now you got your tin. With your tin, you should get a bandana, cotton material, anything. You can rip a part of your t-shirt off. You can throw a part of your hat in. You know, you got a little t-shirt, your pants. You can cut your sock. As long as it's natural material like cotton. Then you cut off pieces of that material. You put it in here. You put it in here. Okay? You close this up. You close it up. And you poke a hole right through here. Just a tiny little hole so it can breathe just a bit. With your knife that's in this kit, you poke a hole. And you throw this into your fire, the whole thing into the fire. This mini inferno kit then becomes a char tin, which then chars your cotton material. Could be a part of your shirt, could be a part of your scarf, could be a part of your jacket, could be a part of your pants, could be a part of your sock, okay? And you put that in, and it'll become charred cloth, all right? So that's for your next fire. This tin becomes a charred tin, what is known as a charred tin. And then you have endless, basically, tin to make endless fires as long as you continue to char material. Now, if you don't have any more cotton material in a wilderness survival scenario, you can also harvest wilderness material like punk wood, you know, rotting wood that's very corky and very punky. It's called punk wood. Just walk up to a rotting tree that's leaning over so the rain is not hitting that bottom side. You see what I'm saying? Leaning like that. Go and start digging into that tree that's rotting. And you will get this material out of the tree, which is like, feels like cork. You know, like a cork, like a wine bottle? Feels like cork, feels very spongy. You put that material, as long as it's dry, put it in here. Fill this up with punk wood. Okay? Then you throw that, again, close it up, and you got your hole already there. All right? And now what's happening, you throw that into the fire. And now that wood will become punky and become charred wood. Charred punk wood. Okay, and it will operate, it will act exactly the same as charred cotton material. You can still hit it with your ferrocerium rod. Open that package up. You can still hit it with your ferrocerium rod, which will create a 3,000 to 4,000 degree spark, and it will light that punk wood and give you an ember. Now, it will operate different from your Surefire technology. Your Surefire technology produces flame, all right? This will produce an actual flame. When you deal with charred material, it will not produce an actual flame, it will produce an ember, But that ember can be fostered to create a flame. All right, so you have to learn these things. That ember that made out of char cloth, char tin, from your char tin, can be made to put into like a grass bundle, like a dry grass bundle. Just get a lot of dry grass and make it into a little bird's nest, like literally a bird's nest, shape it as a bird's nest, put it in the middle, fold it on top gently of that charred material, which is glowing now, it's an ember, and blow on it. Gently blow on it. And you continue to blow on it and increase your blowing as it gets heated up and that grass starts lighting and it starts igniting and it will start burning. And then there is your flame, okay? So your charred material creates an ember, right? An ember, which then you use with organic materials like grass, in survival situation, grass, anything that a bird can use in bird grade. You can even use pine needles. I've used leaves, dry leaves, okay? Anything you can pick up, just make it into a big bundle like a big bird's nest, a big one. Put it in there and blow on it gently. And it will start heating that organic material and then lighting it, and it'll start turning into flame. Okay? And when that turns into flame, you turn it upside down so the flame can rise up through it, get it on the ground, on your raft of wood, and then you start adding your kindling very gently to that. Okay? So this is why this is made all intentionally with the metal tins, not plastic tins, not plastic bags, metal tins. And that's why Suffer Lens Outfitters and Dave Canterbury, who is the top survival teacher in the world, created it in this format. And that's why at Pathfinder School, they use this. Okay, anybody, the Pathfinder students, We use this kind of stuff, all right? And of course, this is a nice tin. You can buy Altoids tins for this too, but Altoids tins are very big and bulky. One thing I like about this, it's a small tin. You can carry this on your person in a small little fire pouch. You can carry this with you. Surefire. And when you run out of Surefire, you still have a fire tin. All right? That's why this is made with purpose in that way. Now, even though you lose this fire tin, give me that container, give me the container, and the knife. Bring the knife here, and Tim, give the container, and the container, and the water bottle too. Okay, now, the reason why Dave also, in the Pathfinder School, Dave Canterbury in the Pathfinder School, designed this tin as 2 metal containers, because number one, containers are the hardest thing, one of the hardest things to make in the wild. And to boil water, you need to rock boil, which takes tons of time. Metal containers are the most traded item over the pioneer periods, okay? Where people were trading with the Native Americans. They wanted metal containers. This was the go-to technology because a metal container can allow you to disinfect water so fast, so quick. All you have to do is collect it and boil it. That's it. Once you get it to rolling boil for about 1 minute, depending on elevation, so the safety rule is 1 minute. Just boil it for 1 minute. Once it boils, get it for 1 minute because at high elevation, water boils at a lower temperature, okay? So you boil it for 1 minute, and you're safe basically anywhere. And here you got gradation marks inside here. You got the heavy-duty butterfly handles, okay, which are much better than those stupid folding out long handles. Very, very clumsy, very bad. Butterfly handles are absolutely the best. And with a Y stick, you just get a Y stick, a stick with a Y. You can actually hold this just like this, put one prong in, put the other prong in at the butt right here, and you can hold this up over your fire. You can control it just with a Y stick. People don't know that. This is why you want butterfly handles, not those stupid long handles or that wrap around. They're like long like this. They grab it. You can't manipulate your pot without gloves. But let's say you don't got gloves in your survival situation. You had to run out of the house and you only got that. Well, you get your Y stick, put it in there, and you can actually control and manipulate this over the fire without burning your hands off. You see how that Y stick works? Just like my fingers. The Y stick works just like my fingers. See? All these things. People don't understand this about this type of kit. This is why it's designed with everything like this in mind. Okay? At the neophyte or the person who doesn't understand survival and good quality gear, bomb-proof gear, you are not going to understand why this is made in this way. Or you're just going to think it's by chance. No, it's on purpose. These are the top survival experts in the world. In the world. You understand? Dave is a representative for More Knives now in the U.S. He is their representative. He's the top. This is probably the best-selling bushcraft knife in the world. More from Sweden, okay? But the reason why these 2 containers are made in stainless steel and not plastic, not an Nalgene bottle made in plastic, which is a stupid waste of money. This is a stainless steel bottle that, of course, nests perfectly with this. But the reason why the stainless steel is multifold. Number one, you can have 2 containers to process food in. Okay, so here you're boiling water, here you're cooking food. So you're cooking a meal in one, at the same time you're cooking water, which then does what? It cuts down your necessity to gather more firewood. You can cook in a smaller fire with 2 cooking implements, boil water for your coffee, tea, and medicines, whatever, and you can cook your food in here. That's why there's 2 stainless steel containers, because you can hold your water and you can carry this over distance. That's called conveyance. You can carry this water safely over distance. It has a waterproof tight cup lid. Obviously, you take this lid off when you boil in the wire because otherwise it's going to blow up. You take the lid off and you boil it. Okay? And of course, how you deal with this is you create a little toggle. You just get a little toggle, put it on a string, put that toggle inside, and it will catch on the lips of this stainless steel bottle, and you'll be able to pick this up with just your string. Okay? And a little piece of twig that is about the size of, a little bigger than this mouth. And you just use it as a toggle, let it hang in there, and you can pull this in and off of your fire very easily. We use it all the time. It's one of the first techniques I teach the students and the bushcraft students here. But also the reason why this is 2 stainless steel containers is because it affords you the ability to make medicine. Okay? Medicines, medicinal herbs. Medicinal herbs require hot water and to be boiled multiple times. That's called decoctions, okay? So when you do an infusion, like you're creating tea, you can just boil it once, put your leaves in, and boil, and then put your leaves in, and then let it steep. We call that steeping, like a tea. That's called medicinally an infusion, okay? But then there's a higher level of medicine when you're processing medicinal roots, ginseng, when you're doing Asian medicines like burdock root and different types of chickpuri and these kind of things. When you're making like very heavy duty medicinals, chicory, when you're using this to process heavy duty medicinals, all right? You need to now do a process of multiple boils, okay? So you would put your your roots in here, all right? You would get your water up here, all right? You would then start boiling this in the water. You would get it to a boil. And you would allow it to evaporate the water out. Take the liquid out. Get that boiling. Get that root boiling. And you let that evaporate the water down until you get to about, a small portion of water. But now that liquid is very black. It's very dark. Then you pour more water in there. Okay? You pour more water in. And then you let it boil down again. You need to do at least 2 boilings for it to become a medicinal decoction. And of course, and to extract all the heavy nutrient materials, okay, that are in that root herb. That's called decoction. That's another reason why they have 2 different stainless steel bottles, okay, to make and process decoctions. Not only infusions, but decoctions. Also, the third level is you can also use this. Let's say you lost your fire tin. You don't have it. You lost it. You dropped it. Well, your water bottle becomes your emergency fire tin. Okay? So your water bottle becomes your emergency fire tin, which you cannot do with a plastic Nalgene bottle. So I would do the same thing. I would cut cloth off, put the cloth in here, because it's stainless steel. Then you cover it up upside down, effectively creating a trap so that the fire cannot ignite the charred material inside. Now you have the organic material inside here. You can fill this with punk wood. You can fill this with a t-shirt. Cover it up. You put it in the fire now. Now this water bottle container becomes your fire kit in the last ditch emergency. And now you produce a huge amount of char cloth, which then you can carry over distance and use in combination with your fire rod. This is like my fire. See, this is, people don't know, this is the blade you want. This is the type of blade you want. Look, get close on this blade. This is called a Scandi grind blade. Now, anybody who uses knives and blades, you know this is by far the most, not only deadly, but the best blade geometry for woodworking and survival scenarios. Okay? This blade geometry is called a Scandinavian grind. Okay? And now you can see they've added a modern, more skinning grind at the tip, so you can skin and process animals, because bushcraft and survival, you may need to skin animals, skin fish, skin raccoons that you catch, skin squirrels, you name it, okay? You may need to do all that kind of thing. But you can see right here, this is an 11-degree grind on both sides, all right? So that edge geometry is like this. That geometry is like this. It comes into a perfect point. That's called a zero edge point. Now, when you look at other knives that are sold on the market, for example, like you look at even tactical knives, you will see this is not a Scandinavian grind. Look close on this edge. This is called a double beveled edge. Okay, so you got one edge here, you got one grind here, and then you got another grind down here. That's a double beveled edge. Right? So this geometry is at a way heavier angle. Okay, which doesn't allow it to slice into wood and bite into wood very tight. So this is not a 0-degree grind. But this, of course, is a fighting blade, so you don't need that. You're going through human tissue. So you're not going through wood and stuff like that. You don't have to process wood and stuff like that for fighting blades. But for survival blades, you need to process wood. You need to, for example, in a survival situation, you may need to construct a debris hut. You may need to construct a shelter. You may need a baton through wood to process materials, process wood for your fire. You may need to get into wood if it's raining to get to the core, to get to dry wood. You may need to get to fat wood and resinous pine material. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to have a Scandinavian grind. That's why the Scandinavian grind is universal in the bushcraft world now. And who was the one who was using Scandinavian grinds from the beginning? It was Mora, and of course, Dave was the one who really introduced it to the world, the Pathfinder School, okay? So you can see that Scandinavian grind. You can see how the light reflects on that? That's an 11-degree grind. You see how that's a different type of grind? And it's not a convex grind. Convex grinds are more like this, okay? And they are more durable, but they do not bite into wood well. Moras are stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about the rust. Okay, this is stainless steel brand. The cheaper ones, the Moras, are carbon steel, so you got to worry about rusting, and they rust like crazy. They're terrible in terms of rust. But this one, this survival Mora is stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about this. You can just forget it in the sheath and forget it. And look how low profile that is, and that's orange, blaze orange, with a lanyard because you want this to be seen. If you drop this in the woods and it's green and you're not experienced, you're going to lose it. That's the reason why it's safety orange. So you can drop it in the woods, you dropped it out of your pack, and you can see it. Number two, it's also a signaling device. Okay? Because it's orange, it is also an emergency signaling device. From far away in the woods, look at this background, look at my camo suit, right? That's the woods, right? The woods are this color, right? Look at how that stands out in the woods. You see how that stands out? So it's easier to find, but you can signal with it. Hey, 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 hey. You see what I'm saying? You can signal with it. See how easily that stands out across the black background or the wood background? And of course, this darker wood pattern, which the woods are this kind of color, right? Darker color like this. All right? So that's why this kit is designed, these containers are designed that way. The fire kit is designed that way. Okay? And of course, that would be your container devices. That would be your containers. And here is your cutting device. This is the first C, right? The first C is cutting tool. So this is a high quality cutting blade and skinning blade. It's got a rubberized handle and emergency blaze orange. Boom. It's got the perfect ergonomic handle for hammer fisting, for chest lever cutting, for more powerful cuts. You turn the blade around. Okay? For different types of cuts, notch cutting for traps, primitive traps, all that stuff, you name it. And the nice thing about this, look at this. Inside the butt of the handle, you twist it one turn, and you pull it out. There is your combustion device. That is the ferrocerium rod. That's your ferrocerium rod. So, your ferrocerium rod is your fire starting device. And you can see how that's on a lanyard, because if you carry this separately, you should always attach it to your belt, because you can lose this. If you lose this, you're screwed. Big trouble. You're in big trouble. You do not want to lose this. You want multiple of these in your kit at all times. Okay? But this one is nice. This is your backup emergency. This is in your knife. All right? So you'll never lose it. As long as you have your knife, it's always there for you. All right? You just give it a turn and pull it out. Now, the Moras normally are not ground down to a 90-degree edge on this backside edge. The Moras usually have a rounded edge, which sucks. It's terrible. They've modified that. Why? Because of Dave Kahneman Pathfinder School. Because he's the one who brought that to attention to the whole survival community. That you do not want a knife with a rounded spine. Because a rounded spine will not shoot sparks off of your ferrocerium rod. It will just roll off of your rod. And that is why the Pathfinder School and Mora listen to them, and they're the biggest producers of these knives, of this type of bushcraft knife in the world. They listen to him. They modify their entire line because of Dave Canterbury and the Pathfinder. You understand? Pathfinder School is the #1 survival school in the world. And they made a 90-degree spine. That 90-degree spine is used not only for scraping your ferrocerium rod. Okay, you get that carbon coating off first. Get the carbon coating off first, see? Get that carbon coating off first so that you can actually see it, right? Now you can see the mesh metal underneath. You see the metal now? And now you can shoot the sparks, see? Now you can shoot the big sparks. See that? And this is the combustion device that you would use with your mini inferno here, which you pick up just a little cotton right here, right? You picked up a little cotton, you fluffed it up just a bit, right? And you would simply get that in there and spark it. See how that's now lit? And now this will burn for a minute. Okay, that will burn for 6 minutes. You see how that lit, right? Everybody saw how that lit? Right? If you want to put it out, you can always just, and you can use it again. Once you burn it, you can use it again. Put it in there to suffocate the oxygen. It's out. See how easy that was? One spark hit that easy. Easy. You can't make fire with this, you're a bozo. You suck. Okay, but these kits are meant for you to practice. So as soon as you get it, first thing you should do, use one of those infernos, cut them in fours, and practice at least 4 times. That's the first thing you should do as a condition. A conditional offering, you should do it. As soon as you get it, practice 4 times. So you know your tools, you know how to do it, okay? So that's why this 90-degree spine is there. Now, the reason why it's also there is if you don't have any more tinder, you can make tinder off of bark with that 90-degree spine. By scraping this spine on a tree, scraping it, just like you scrape this rod, you can make fine, like powder, wood powder. And some trees are better than others, okay? Pine trees are better, and particularly cedar. If you have cedar in your area, red western cedar, that's the best because that flakes off. If you have poplar, okay, this creates great poplar bark tinder as well. You just process it with this. If you have bone, you can't make fire tinder with it, but you can process bone. You can smooth out bones. You can smooth out materials with this 90-degree spine. All right? You can make bone powder to add to your soups even. You can make different medicinals by scraping roots and making into a powder, which increases the surface area, and then you boil that. Why do you think coffee is made into a powder form? Because it becomes more strong and potent when you make things into powders. So you can increase the surface area with that 90. People don't know crap. They don't know why all this is designed this way. We're not playing around here. This is a professional level, you understand? We're not playing around. All this is designed with all functionality and purpose. But if you don't understand it, you're not going to get why these items are better than all the stupid items you may buy on Amazon. You're going to spend $200, $300 buying all these stupid things which don't have any of this functionality. Where you could have got the good things and buy once, cry once. And you know, it's so cheap. It's not even buy once, cry once. But you got the good stuff first with all the functionality already built into it because you have survival experts making them. You understand? Okay. Now this also has a drain hole here. You got a drain hole as well, so that your knife doesn't rust even in seaside areas. You can use the Mora knife. So again, totally bomb-proof knife with the combustion device. You have the cutting tool and the combustion device inside one package. See how streamlined that is? You just hook that in, put that in a pocket. You name it, you got your item right there. Okay, so you got your cutting tool, you got your combustion device. All right, you got your 2 containers, and you got your 3rd container here with your Surefire. All right, you got your Surefire. Now, so you got your cutting tool, combustion device, containers. All right, you got multiple containers, and you got this lid, which of course is also a little grill. You can also cook little meats, a small little piece of squirrel or fish on this here. You just cook it over the fire. I do it all the time. All the time I do it. Cook little meats on this little grill, this little pan. Mini frying pan is what it is. And then what we got? We got 100 feet of paracord here. Tim, give me that paracord. And the bag as well, but the paracord. So including in this kit as well is 100 feet of 550 cord. Okay? Now, within the 550 cord, you have all sorts of other string involved in here. So you got 50 tensile strength strings, 50-pound tensile strength strings. You got 7 of them inside here. All right? Including the casing, that's 8 layers of string. So if you cut this open and you pull it all out, you'll see that there's 7 different strings in there. And that then adds up to 550 pounds test strength. Okay? Now, because you add the top layer for the 8th layer, okay, which is even stronger tensile strength than the strings. So in total, this paracord alone is 550 strength. Now, if you pulled out all the string inside of it, you now have 100 foot that now has gone to 600 foot, 700 foot. Okay, 700 foot cordage. And then you add the casing, that's 800 feet of cordage. That is ridiculous. All at over 50-pound tensile strength. Okay, so what can you use the internal cordage for? You can use it for all sorts of things. You can add it to not waste your cordage. And to add it, you can even add stuff to your molly straps, just lashings. You can use the smaller strings to lash tripods together when you want to boil and cook foods over fire. You can use the string and not waste it by using the smaller string by lashing different points on traps, primitive traps. You can use this to lash your knife to a stick, which then makes it into a spear if you're hunting larger game. All right? You can use this lashing in an absolute survival situation, emergency. And of course, you should always test the string first to test your weight. But 550 cord should be able to hold your weight. Okay? You can use it in absolute emergency, and I would probably double it over just to make it even more sure, give it a 1,000-pound strength. You can use it to actually climb down a cliff if you have to, okay? I don't recommend it, but if you have to, absolutely have to, double it over, then you got double the strength, tensile strength, then you can use it to actually climb down a cliff or climb up something. You can even use it, you can use paracord to burn through paracord. Did you know that? If you don't have a cutting device and you have a long string that you need to cut down and remove, you can use this string like that and just use it as a, wrap it over your string and just burn it. Pull it like this, 1, 2, 1, 2, and it will burn through your string. You can actually cut rope with this string. People don't know that, okay? You can use the inner strands for fishing devices, for fishing. And if you have a little survival bracelet that, you know, that is, sell that card, the little survival bracelet, you got fishing hooks in there. Oh, you got one here. That's in the family kit. Here, that's in the family kit. You got the little survival bracelet right here. And in here, you have, in this another kit. That's another kit. It's not in this kit, but you have a fishing kit in here. But you just throw a couple hooks in there. You can even duct tape your hooks and one needle for repairs right on the back of your Amora knife. Just tape it. So you always got 2, 3 hooks right there, and you always got a sail needle. You see what I'm saying? And then you got your inner strands, so you got cordage right there for your fishing line. Okay? You can also use, can you believe it? You don't believe it. You can use one of the inner strands as dental floss. I do it all the time if I don't have dental floss. Can you believe that? You can use it as dental floss. And it's very important to get that hygiene. If you're eating meat in the wild, you're eating things you're catching, and that's getting stuck, it's going to start rotting your teeth, giving you problems in the wild. It's going to be worse. So you can use the inner strand as dental floss, which is so beneficial. You can use it to hold your clothes and garments up. If your belt, you have to use your belt to hold your satchel up or something else. You don't have a belt, this can be an improvised belt. It can be an improvised sling. You can use it if you injured your arm to hold your arm up and not move your arm, to sling your arm. It can be used to put together a pad where in which you can hold somebody who's injured and draw him out of the woods. It can, of course, be used to drag things. All these different things, 100 different, million different uses with paracord. So this is 100 feet, 100 foot of paracord in this kit. All right? And also here, then you have the SOL XX large, 2.5 times thicker and larger, 2.5 times thicker and also larger, 5x8. That's very big for a survival blanket. That's very small and compact. Waterproof tarp. You have a tarp, okay? And you would use this together with this to make your shelter, all right? By making a simple ridge line, okay? This does not have grommets in the corners, so all you do is get a little pebble, get a little rock, get a couple just leaves, and make it into a little ball. Put that ball inside the tarp corners like this, and that ball creates a little anchor point like this, see? And then you tie the string around that ball so it holds that tarp and it becomes like an anchor point. Does that make sense? And then you use that to draw this tarp out into different configurations, whatever you need to cover yourself and to get out of the inclement weather. So this is based on the 5C kit. You got the heavy duty 5x8 tarp, which is your covering element. You got the 100 feet of 550 strength, tensile strength, paracord, 100 feet. That's huge cordage, huge. You got the cutting tool and the Mora Scandinavian grind with a 90-degree spine, stainless steel blade, rust proof. You got the combustion device in the handle. So it's already the 4 C's right there. You got your mini 400 tin with the Surefire inside. There's a combustion tinder. That's a bonus, by the way. And then you got your final C, which is a container element, which has all of those uses. Char cloth, it's your mini fire tin, emergency fire tin. It's your decoction, medicinal preparation kit. It's your double infusion kit, so you can cook and boil at the same time. All right? And of course, then all this fits into this kit, which of course has a shoulder strap. High quality Pathfinder, core Duramade. You can see the Pathfinder embroidered logo right there. Pathfinder school right there. #1 survival school in the world. All right? And your entire kit, where's the lip on that? Okay. Anyways, your entire kit, boom. Your shelter kit fits right in the back. Your cordage fits right in there as well. And you just remove it from the bag and all that stuff, okay? Your knife fits right in there as well. You can actually just clip your knife on the outside if you want. If you want access to your knife outside, just clip it outside. It's got the MOLLE webbing. So you just clip it on the MOLLE webbing. All right, let's just clip it on, for the now, let's clip it on MOLLE webbing. You got your lid, which you can keep just up in this front pocket up here, or you can just keep it right in the front here. And you got your combustion device. In that lid, you got multiple pouches here. You can put your stuff, whatever you need. You can add a little compass here. All right. You got your heavy-duty buckles, mil-spec buckles. And in this tiny kit, and you got, of course, the heavy-duty, high-quality strap, with then just clips on here. Boom. Another one clips on here. Boom. And again, you got MOLLE attachments here too as well. So once you're wearing this on top of you, you can also put your knife here. If you like your knife up here, you can put your knife right up here if you want, on the shoulder pad. All right? And you just extend that. Simple to extend. And now, you got a haversack kit. You got a mini haversack kit with shoulder strap. Right on your person, whenever you go hiking, you got the 5 C's with you. And everybody who goes hiking, tramping through the woods, anytime you're in the woods, you better have the 5 C's. If you don't, you are big trouble screwed. Unless you're super, super, super high level with fire, friction fire, even though it's not guaranteed. You should always have a minimum 5C kit. Always. Grab handle, this probably this weighs less than a gallon of milk, so this weighs probably, and that's about 8 pounds, so this probably weighs 4 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds. 3 or 4 pounds. With water, maybe you got another pound of weight, so you got maybe 5 pounds. So 5 pounds, you got surefire insurance to save your ashtray when you're out in the wilderness, okay? So this is for wilderness survival. And of course, remember, wilderness survival merges very well with urban survival. Very well. You know, you can just add a couple things. You could add a lockpick set in here for urban survival. You could add a hex wrench for accessing, building water in urban survival. You can add a little flashlight for urban survival, whatever. But for wilderness survival, that's it. Okay? This is normally, what is this? Normally what is it? How much is this, Uno?
It's about like 140.
All this, with this heavy duty pack, all this is 140 what?
145.
145 normally. But for Sanctuary, Car Arms is going to give it for?
122.
122, baby! Or 121.99. Bang! Right there. Nice providential number. All right? And there you go. Awesome pack. Mini 5C kit. Look, if you don't want that out there, you're walking through the city with this, just take it off. Just take the thing off. You know what I'm saying? Just toss it in here. Now nobody can see it. You got your grab handles. It's got overlapping pads so that no rainwater gets in there. Bam! You got your MOLLE kit. You can attach this, look, to your bag, to your pack. You got other, you can put your, haversack straps right here if you want, so that it rides a little closer to your back. All right? You got the heavy duty modern mil-spec MOLLE here. You can add more containers, first aid pouch, whatever you want. Just throw a couple Band-Aids in there and throw some duct tape in there and you got a first aid kit. All right? And look how much room you got. You got tons of room still inside. So you can still add a meal. Let's say you want to just go for lunch. You want to go for a day trip? Grab this. Throw a little lunch, a little coffee in there. Boom. You still got tons of space. This is extendable. All right? This is extendable. So you got this heavy duty mil-spec Pathfinder embroider right there. Boom. Check out that. That's dope. There's Dave and Pathfinder school right there. See? Heavy duty. You're good to go. I'm ready to go. I'm going now. All right? So look. That, and only for Sanctuary, right? We're gonna have that discount for Sanctuary, because I've been telling everybody to get your 7-Up kits ready. They haven't done it, and there's too much research to do. So we've just put together the King's Kit, so it's easy to do. $121.99, boom, just pick it up. You got your 5C Wilderness Kit. Let's take a short break, and afterwards, let's go look into our second plan kit, which is our family kit, and that's a higher level, a second level plan. We'll be right back after a short break. Stay with us.